So we have another concept called improvements made by bona fide holder under defective title improvement. So it is again given under section 51. So who is a bona fide holder?
Actual owner or real owner.
Bona fide, are you aware of the meaning?
I remember reading a bona fide. I remember reading it somewhere.
Okay, it basically is like in good faith you are thinking something. Okay, so in good faith holder, that means in good faith you are holding the property, right? In your mind you think you are the real owner and this property belongs to you, but in reality it may not be the case. Okay, but when we say bona fide holder, that means it's not like one day I saw in my dream that this property belongs to me, so I just thought that yes, this property belongs to me. Okay, when I say bona fide holder, I should be having some points to prove that okay, this is the reason why I thought that this property belongs to me, right? So there should be like genuine enough reasons or like grounds for me to believe on it. And if on such a belief, right, on such a belief I am doing some improvements in the property, right, I had valid enough reasons to believe that this certain property belongs to me, and on that belief I did some improvements in the property. In such a case, what is going to happen? That is the basic concept here. Improvements made by bona fide holder under defective title, improvements, that I am not the owner maybe, or I'm not the owner of this entire plot, I was just owner of this small part, but I thought that I'm owner of this entire part, so I did improvements in this entire part. So what will happen to those improvements? All right, that concept is given under section 51. This is also based on the principles of this equity only. Okay, so section 51 of Transfer of Property Act applies to a transferee. Once property is being transferred to another person, it would apply to this transferee who, in good faith, believes that he is the real owner of the property. That means in good faith, with good intention, having valid enough reasons and everything, I thought that I am the real owner of this certain property. I was the transferee. Some property got alienated or transferred to me, and I thought that yes, I am the real owner of this property. And based on that belief, I made improvements, right? Improvements in the property, but subsequently I was evicted by the real owner. Subsequently, after making some improvements, the real owner came and he said that, excuse me, this part belongs to me, so you go away. In that case, what will happen to this improvement which I did in good faith, with bona fide intention? What is going to happen to it? In such a case, the law provides him with two options in the alternative generally. That means when this real owner is going to come and say that, excuse me, you go away from my property, in that case, this real owner is going to have two alternate options. All right, so what are these two alternate options? In the nature of relief to the transferee, because I was not having any bad intention. In good faith, I thought it's my property, I did the improvements. Now, if this person is removing me from the property, I should be given some relief. That is the concept of equity, right? That I should not be just, like said that, okay, you go away. I should also be given some relief. It should be proper for both the parties, because you are anyways going to be entitled to all that improvement. So in such a case, it will apply to the parties. So first of all, he can require the owner to pay the value of improvements effected by him on the property and in alternative. So first of all, the person may say that, okay, like when someone buys a plot of land, they need to fill it with a lot of like this, right? That it would be like very down as compared to other areas. So they need to fill it. You are aware of that, right? That would cost a lot of money when they need to fill it and, like bring it at the same level with other places. This happens when someone buys a plot in like a very remote place. Okay, so take for example, there was like a big area of land. In good faith, I thought I'm owner of this entire plot, but in reality, this owner had given me only this much of the property. All right, a small section was still left with the owner. I thought that, okay, fine, I'm owner of this entire plot of land. So what I did is I filled this with stuff, right? I filled this to bring it to the same level with rest of the area. So it costed a lot of money. After that, maybe I constructed like a boundary wall. Now owner is saying that you go away from this property. Also, this wall that you have constructed or this gate that you have put, this is belonging to my property. So you need to put a separate gate for your property or stuff. Right? So in such a case, it would be like a lot of money which I have invested, but it would go on waste. So court is going to come there and court is going to provide for equity by way of this concept, section 51. So court may say the owner that, okay, fine, you keep this gate which you have your half of the boundary wall also constructed, that's completely fine. But you need to make the payment to this other person, right? Because this other person had done all that stuff. So you make the payment because this person was in good faith doing it. You make the payment and you accordingly take this property. Or in alternative, he can require the real owner. Transferee can ask this real owner to transfer the interest in the property to him at the market value. Take for example, I had also constructed like a building or stuff by taking permission, approval and all that stuff. Now in such a case, owner is saying that I never wanted to construct like a 3-story building here. I just wanted a very small basic minimal house for myself. In such a case, he is having an alternate option that he can sell this property to me also, right? So there are two options. You either pay for whatever improvements I have made, or you give like your interest, right? You alienate the property to me. Those are the two options which will be available in case some improvements are done by a bona fide holder. This is not like any random person doing some construction and thinking that, yes, I would get the property. It would not apply in such cases, only in exceptional cases where there were valid enough reasons for the persons to believe that he is the real owner. The option is with the person who evicts the transferee. Whoever is asking this person, whoever is removing this person, that one is going to have these two options, either to give the money or to transfer the property to the person. Transferee has to select one of the reliefs. So transferee has to select one of the reliefs given to him by the evictor. Transferee cannot compel the evictor to give particular relief to him. So he cannot say that, no, you give me this relief only, you lease out the property only to me or something. Whatever this other person decides, whichever alternate option he selects accordingly, that is going to be applicable in the case. Normally, the person having better title would give the cost of improvement. Anyways, this person, the evictor is the owner, right? So he is going to give cost of improvements. But if he is too poor to give the cost, or otherwise it is otherwise not beneficial to him, he would sell his own interest in the property to the other person. The fundamental principle on which this section is based is that one who seeks equity must do equity. Okay, that if you are saying that this needs to be given to me based on equity, you also need to do something right only. You cannot. So basically you were on good faith and you were believing that you did the construction and other stuff. So if you are asking for equity, you have also done equity, right? On good faith only, you had believed on it. So the evictor also needs to do proper things only. If you are saying that, no, I'm the owner, you give me property, possession of property and stuff, you also need to do equity. You also need to make the payment for this, all the improvements which was being done. After that, you will get possession of the property. So this is a concept which we have. One who seeks equity must do equity. If you are not right in your actions or stuff, you cannot go to court and ask that this is not right, this is unfair and stuff. You need to be fair first, then you can ask for this thing. So the same concept applies here, that the evicted has to give the payment for improvements made. After that, he can say that, yes, I am the owner of this property, so it should come back to me. I should be getting possession of the property. This is clear, right?
Yes, madam.
So under this section, law imposes an obligation upon the evicted to compensate a person acting honestly and making improvements on the evictor's property. It should not be any random person who just come tomorrow and do some construction. That is not going to be something which court would entertain. But if some person honestly does something in good faith, then in such a case, court is going to consider the matter. While evicting such a person, the real owner cannot appropriate or take benefit of the improvements. He cannot be like, okay, fine, you constructed this gate, that's fine, I'm going to use it. That should not happen. He should not be taking the benefits of such improvements without compensating this person. What is absolutely essential is that the transferee was under a conviction that he holds the title and was to was competent to improve the property. So that is very important. Based on that belief only, this entire concept would either apply or not apply. If he knew that he does not have the title of the property, he would not be entitled to protection under this section, and the benefits of improvement would pass on the real owner itself. So this was held in this case. Ismail Hazi Association Trust, Muslim Educational Society. So if, because otherwise if this provision is being given, someone may just go and do some construction and be like, okay, I did this construction, so now you transfer the property to me. That also should not happen. That is the reason why this belief of the person or good faith, bona fide belief is very important. There was another case where property belonging to minor. Now, in case of property belongs to minor, there will be like a guardian appointed by court. And this guardian, if he wants to sell the property because of any reason, right, he needs to take permission of court, because minor is anyways not able to give consent. And there is a possibility that this guardian may try to sell the property for his own benefit also. That is the reason why if the guardian wants to sell certain property of a minor, he needs to take permission from the court. If court allows, in such a case only the person can sell the property. Okay, so in this case, what happened is there was a certain property belonging to a minor, and this property was sold by the guardian of the property to another person without seeking permission of court. So when this property belonged to a minor, guardian was appointed. Without asking for court's permission, this guardian sold the property to someone else. Now this buyer was in good faith, good belief. He thought that obviously this person would have taken permission from court. That is why he is selling the property to me. So he also gave the consideration, he paid the money and everything. Sale transaction was done. Based on that thing, right? Based on that, he thought that, yes, I am the absolute owner of this property. Property has got transferred to me. I paid the consideration and stuff. So what he did is he demolished the existing structure there, and on that land, he constructed a new house also. And during that time, this minor attained majority. So when the minor attains majority, he can take a decision with regard to the properties that belong to him, the contracts that were enforced and other stuff. So minor said that, I don't approve this sale which was being done, right? So in this case, court held that minor had a better title, because without asking for court's permission, the guardian sold the property. So yes, minor is having a better title and he was entitled to the property also, but at the same time, he was under legal obligation to compensate this other person, because he had done so much of improvements and everything. So you either compensate this person or if you cannot afford to compensate this person, or you don't think that this building or house is going to be of use for you, then in such a case, you can also sell the property to this person. So this minor would be having two options in that case. You either pay this entire improvement amount to the person, or you sell the property. Like you agree on whatever sell was being done by your guardian. Okay, so those are basically the two alternate options which will be given in case this section 51 is applied. Improvements made by bona fide holder. So when the transferee of immovable property makes any improvement on the property, believing in good faith that he is absolutely entitled to it, and subsequently he is evicted or he is removed from the property by a person having better title on it, the transferee has right to require the person who is removing him that you either make the payment for it, or otherwise you sell the property to me. So this is what section 51, the provision from BEAR Act, talks about.